So you want to start your first webcomic. Well, there's some things you might need to watch out for before you do. Number 1, you shouldn't neglect the writing process. Don't go straight to drawing and barely have anything written for how your story will be told. That's a mistake I made on the first webtoon that I ever made because I was so excited to just start drawing right away and barely thought about the writing, and I fleshed out the characters. I thought about what they liked and stuff, how they were gonna look, but I don't know, just about knowing what the characters like, I was good with that, but when it came to the individual episodes, none of that was planned out, and that isn't good to have. You don't need to have every single episode planned out, but you want to know what's going to happen in the middle, the end, multiple things. You don't want to just start drawing and then just keep doing episodes and not getting anywhere because you're just doing basically filler, just uploading filler all the time because you're just putting in random things. I don't know. You just want to have know who the antagonist is, protagonist. In my last webcomic, I didn't even have a real villain. It was all confusing. I had nothing written down. So you want to know a lot about the writing before you start drawing your webcomic, because you want to know get the foreshadowing out of the way. If you already know a lot of things in advance for your story, you can add foreshadowing. When you don't know a lot of things that's going to happen in the future for your comic, you can't really add foreshadowing. If you just add something and then it doesn't add up with the rest of your episodes that you made in the past, it's not going to be right, and it's basically going to be lazy writing. So I know it may be tempting to just get straight to drawing, but if you want to have a story you're confident in, you want to think about the writing first. I also basically canceled my first webtoon because of this. Number 2, make your comic readable. Space out your panels correctly. If you're doing it in the webtoon way instead of the manga type comics, then disregard that. But you should give the reader time to breathe. Make your speech bubbles and letters big enough so someone could read it off of their phone. I've seen a lot of comics that the letters are very tiny, a lot of canvas webtoons, and they're very tiny, especially when there is long paragraphs in one bubble. I think you should spread it out, but that's just me. I just think you should spread it out so it's not I don't know, just this huge speech bubble with a paragraph. Number 3, you don't need to have the best equipment. Don't worry too much about the equipment. Don't spend tons of money on Webtoon when all you need is either a phone or a tablet or an iPod to draw, basically. I use ᴛɪᴜᴏ, however you pronounce that, on my tablet. I used to actually draw the first episodes of my Webtoon with my phone. I also really suggest that you buy a stylus. While you can use your fingers, I think having a pen would be a lot easier. I used to use my fingers, and once I got my stylus, I adapted pretty quickly. I still can use my finger, but there is a difference in the accuracy of line art and stuff. You can buy Procreate, but I don't really think I need it. ᴛɪᴜᴏ has a lot of things already, and I don't really need it. I don't know if Clip Studio Paint is free or not, but since ᴛɪᴜᴏ has a lot of things already, I don't want to learn a whole nother program. I also don't think you need to buy a tablet either. It definitely does make it a lot easier to draw with a bigger space, but drawing on phone is actually not that bad. I used to do it. As I said before, I used to draw on my phone for everything, and including my older Webtoon. Number 4, you shouldn't have a bad upload schedule. You should upload at least monthly, or basically monthly. You should, if you want to get a decent amount of views with just uploading only. It really depends on how small or long your episodes are. If you make 5 to 10 panel episodes, I think you could post weekly with breaks. I used to post weekly with 20 panel episodes, and it would take me all week to get episodes out. When I had to go after school for basketball every day, I had to put my Webtoon on pause for 3 months because I literally had no time to draw a full episode and no motivation. Saying you'll get an episode out every month seems pretty reasonable if you make 20 or more panels per episode. For me, it took me like 5 days or more to get one 20 panel episode out. So doing it weekly would mean that I need to be drawing literally every day and like have no breaks whatsoever, basically no days off, or until I finish the episode. And then after that, you need to get straight back to work. Number 5, you should include backgrounds. Don't make every panel have a blank background. Let the reader know actually where the characters are. If you struggle with drawing backgrounds or think it's too time consuming, you could use 3D backgrounds. I use Roblox Studio since I already know how to build on there, because I used to be obsessed with Roblox. I don't know any other apps you could use, but Roblox Studio is completely free, so that's a good option. If you don't know how to build on there, you could check out one of my older videos that I posted when I actually used Roblox Studio to make Roblox games. It still helps us as much. I actually don't know if those videos are still up. I actually might have took them off. Number 6, don't put too much time into panels. Don't put so much time into one panel. Make sure they look presentable and nice enough so that the reader knows what they are looking at, but don't add so much detail and shading to the point that it looks like a full-on masterpiece that you'd post on Instagram. Making comics is time-consuming as it is, and I don't want to spend hours on one panel, which I fall victim to that, but because I spend like an hour on most of my panels. If you post like 5 panels a week, then maybe you could put 5 hours into each panel, but in my opinion, it doesn't seem like a good choice, especially when most people spend 2 seconds looking at a panel. Number 7, you shouldn't expect tons of views immediately. Don't expect to get many views after posting your first episode. You'll get more views as you post more episodes over time. It's very hard to get views on Webtoon alone because of all the competition. If you want views, you need to start uploading on social media. But even though I said you shouldn't post weekly, I think you should post monthly so that you're getting more views on each upload, because once you upload, you're gonna continue to get a little bit more views while it's updated. Make sure not to get discouraged when you're not getting many views, because most of the time it's because you only have one episode out. My Webtoon barely gets any views, so take this video with a grain of salt, probably. If you learned something from this video, feel free to subscribe and like the video to show others that you enjoyed it. Go start your Webtoon.